Lucky Ayedatiwa has launched the emblem appeal for the 2024 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration in Ondo State. At the ceremony held at the Cocoa Conference Hall in Akure, Ayedatiwa said the emblem appeal is to recognize and honor the sacrifices of living and past heroes of the armed forces who lost their lives in course of war and peacekeeping missions for the country. Government House correspondent Inga Oluwajano reports that the speaker.
The occasion also presents an opportunity to assure our retired soldiers, the Legion, the serving officers, that their labors of love, even in death, shall never be in vain, as they will always be accorded the special recognition they deserve. The import of this is to encourage those still in active service to continue to be committed to their job and appreciated.
The acting governor explained that government will continue to work with the Nigerian Legion to further advance the welfare of the widows of the
relations of the departed ones and also those still alive, disabled or in need. Distinguished guests, we are sure that the state
Legion Colonel Uluapata retired thanked Governor Akeredolu for his proactive response to the stressing that there is the need to involve veterans in the security architecture of local government councils.
The council visits the security establishment and ministries with this state to ensure that we are able to improve on our synergy and assist as appropriate.
Earlier in a welcome address, Commissioner for Women Affairs Dr. Juliana Oshadao appealed to all assembly to donate generously towards the cause.
For the efforts of those who lost their lives in the cause of defending the unity of our nation.
January, Christian service on Sunday, 12th January, a military parade and laying of wreath on Saturday, 15th January 2024. The launch featured the decoration of top government functionaries, service chiefs, and donation for the week-long event. Binga Oluwajano, Osrc News.
Residents of Ondo State have commended the acting governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, for his resolve to leave the state above the political intrigues that have dominated discourse in the last few months. The residents, including elder statesman Shende Arobofa, while reacting to the acting governor's broadcast, tasked him to work in fulfillment of the ideals of the state's founding fathers. Osrc Zaid Aribisala has more.
The burden of leadership and governance of Ondo State now rests on the shoulders of acting governor Lucky Ayedatiwa following the medical vacation embarked on by Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu effective from December 13, 2023. The morning after acting governor Lucky Ayedatiwa assumed duty, he addressed the people of Ondo State, calling for unity of purpose and pledging to restore the state to a path of prosperity, which hitherto was affected by the political quagmire. His broadcast has since generated reactions, with Afenifere chieftain and elder statesman Shende Arobofa saying the position is another test of the helmsman's administrative acumen.
We can't but wish him the best of luck in his administration. It's going to be a trying time for him. And what has happened now will bring out the best in him as an administrator and as a at least one. We know that our governor is still alive and is under some care. Second, fully to the state.
Chief Arobofa called for tact on Ayedatiwa's path and synergy of work.
We thank him for the address, and we know he has it's not an easy situation. What is on ground now needs a very serious attention. Very they are really
described the acting governor's broadcast to continue the developmental trajectory and placed by Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu as encapsulated in the redeemed agenda.
We expect him to build, the acting governor to build on the achievements of the governor to even do better than what the governor has done. For example, in the area of education.
The speech is a welcome idea. The content is good too, because he acknowledged the fact that he has the person of Akeredolu as his leader, as his governor, and that is good enough.
With his wisdom so far, with the way he has handled things, I believe he's going to be able to manage the state, and in acting capacity, I believe he's going to do something fantastic.
I want to thank God for Ondo State, and I want to thank God for all the indigenes therein. I think the right thing has just been done. Constitutionally, the right thing has been done.
While the acting governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, said rising above the intrigues and instability of previous months and rolling up sleeves for service are what be embraced by those saddled with responsibility. Residents say the impact must not.
Gweri Anyanwu emphasized the need to fortify the commission and address issues related to human capital debt challenges. The Supreme Court has set aside a judgment by the lower court that dismissed the terrorism charges against the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. The Apex Court held that the Court of Appeal was wrong, that the trial court couldn't try him because his rights were violated by the prosecution. The Minister Investigation Bureau, President Bola Tinubu, had on Wednesday approved the suspension, removal and replacement of some chief executive officers under the Federal Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development. In a statement by Head Press, Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace, Odutaya Oluseyi said removed from 8 territories. The EU's other leaders agreed to revisit the debate in January. Reporter of Unity for Kiev is a contrast to divisions in the bloc on Gaza. Omoshilola Desoyajai has details.
An historic step, European Union leaders agreed to open membership negotiations with Ukraine after intense talks in Brussels. Hungary's leaders had threatened to veto the move, but decided to leave the room during the vote effectively, allowing the others to reach a unanimous decision. The deal is a symbol of the bloc's unwavering support for Ukraine and sends a strong message to Russia.
People of Ukraine, we are on their side, and this decision made by the member states is extremely important for the credibility of the European Union.
The unity on Ukraine comes in contrast to the European Union's disunity on the war in Gaza. The conflict continues to divide the bloc, but positions are shifting.
I'm supposed to represent a common position, but there is not a common position.
Bells referring to this week's vote at the United Nations General Assembly, a majority of European Union member states backed a ceasefire resolution, including France, Spain and Ireland. More than in the past, but not enough for a united European front. Austria and the Czech Republic voted against it, while Germany abstained in Brussels. Irish Prime Minister Leo Varadkar said European Union disunity on Gaza is dramatic. Ursula von der Leyen has been a vocal supporter of Israel.
Lamonti, the rise of extreme
offensive. It is clear that tone in the European Union is hardening and support for Israel eroding, but not enough yet. It seems to reach the sort of consensus on the conflict seen on Ukraine or help secure lasting peace. Omoshiliola Adesoye-Ajayi, Osrc News.
Let's now take you to Argentina, where skyrocket has pushed the poverty rate above 45%. The situation is expected to get worse as the president implements a set of drastic measures to tackle rice.
This is an image that many polygon is malnourished and is infected with a skin disease scabies. She lives with her mother in the northern province of Santiago, and they come to this NGO for assistance.
I used to get diapers here, but now I'm getting extra.
They produce food for more than 400 million people, that is 10 times its population. Many see this as a historic failure in addressing endemic hunger and poverty in the country. Recently, elected President Javier Milei devalued the currency by over 54% this week in an attempt to stimulate the economy. Analysts predict this year's inflation will be close to 200%, and that is a problem in a country where at least 60% of the children are poor. Fatima has 5 children and comes to this clinic to get her children checked.
I've been coming here with all my children. They've helped me a lot. There are many children here and I have no words to thank this organization.
The new government announced it will increase cash handouts to help the poor. Eduardo say Argentina has been unable to find a path towards development.
No government from the left or the right.
Family has only been in office for a few days, but he has promised to transform Argentina. People here hope he will not forget about them.
Israel is increasing the battlefield as it looks for a settlement with the armed group Hezbollah that would allow residents to return to towns and villages in the north of the country. The defense minister, Yoav Gallant, is calling for a safe zone on Lebanon's side of the border, and international efforts are reportedly looking into the possible deployment of French troops.
Of them are trying to find a diplomatic solution that includes international force not belongs to the UN, because Israel doesn't believe anymore with the UN, with UNIFIL or UN forces, but international force with the ability to hold back Hezbollah.
It is a similar proposal to the one put forward by Israel during its last war with Hezbollah in 2006, but it wasn't able to achieve its goal. The demilitarization of the group militarily or diplomatically instead of an enlarged zone free of weapons and fighters outside the state control. Tamitri was Lebanon's foreign minister. It's the denomination as a way to end the conflict, but Hezbollah says it won't negotiate as long as Israel's aggression in Gaza continues. It also reiterated a red line.
We will not disarm because our weapons allow us to live independently and face threats. And for us there are issues.
From the border. In a related development, Hezbollah has reportedly lost more fighters as it continues launching rockets into northern Israel. Israel says